What comes to mind when you hear the term real interest rate? A bank phrase or maybe a financial term you've overheard? Well, let's demystify it. The real interest rate isn't as complex as it sounds. It's simply a measure of the actual return you get from an investment after taking inflation into account. You see, inflation can eat away at your returns, making your actual earnings less than what you originally anticipated. This is where the real interest rate comes in. It subtracts the inflation rate from the nominal interest rate, the one typically advertised by banks. The result gives you a more accurate picture of your investment's return. In essence, it shows the actual increase or decrease in your purchasing power. So, in simple terms, the real interest rate is the nominal interest rate minus the inflation rate, giving you the true return on your investment. Now, how do we calculate the real interest rate? It involves a simple formula. To find the real interest rate, we subtract the inflation rate from the nominal interest rate. The nominal interest rate is the interest rate that's officially stated on your investment. On the other hand, the inflation rate is the percentage increase in the price of goods and services over a specific period. For instance, let's say you've stashed away $1,000 in a savings account with a stated or nominal interest rate of 5% per year. During the same year, the inflation rate rises to 2%. You'd apply the formula by subtracting the inflation rate from the nominal interest rate. So, 5% minus 2% equals a real interest rate of 3%. So remember, to calculate the real interest rate, you subtract the inflation rate from the nominal interest rate. So to recap what we've learned today about the real interest rate, this term represents the true return on an investment once we've adjusted for inflation. Essentially, it's the nominal interest rate, the rate stated on your investment minus the inflation rate, which is how much the general price level of goods and services has increased over a specific period. We also looked at how to calculate it using this formula. Real interest rate equals nominal interest rate minus inflation rate. Remember our example? If you had $1,000 in a savings account with a nominal interest rate of 5% per year and the inflation rate over the same period was 2%, your real interest rate would be 3%. This means your purchasing power would increase by 3% annually after accounting for inflation. So always remember, the real interest rate is the true measure of your return on investment after adjusting for inflation. Thanks for tuning in and stay curious.